My Little Puggy, Chapter 4, written by Darthwill 3. In the front porch of Carousel Boutique, which was resided by Rarity as her home, Rainbow pressed her right hoof against the door to open, but it wouldn't budge. "Guess it's locked," she concluded out loud. She turned to Tank and the Wonder Pugs, who were inquisitive for results. "I'll try knocking," and she did so, softly. "Hello?" she called. "Rarity?" There was no answer. She knocked again, just a tad bit harder. "Are you in there, Rarity? I need to talk to you." Like before, there was only silence from within the house. Rainbow seethed impatiently and pounded the door. "Rarity! Open this door for Pete's sake!" When it became evident that no pony was going to answer, she closed her eyes and breathed a heavy sigh of resignation. "Well, Wonder Pugs," she spoke at last. "Rarity's not home. Guess we're gonna have to wait until..." She stopped, almost instantly after opening her eyes. For a moment, her mind went blank. She thought she was imagining things, that her stress was clouding her vision. But it wasn't. Tank was there next to her. He was standing still. But the Wonder Pugs? They weren't there. They were gone. Gone. "Tank?" Rainbow asked anxiously. "Where are the puppies?" In response, Tank pointed his head to the direction of the door. "Huh?" Rainbow wasn't sure what her tortoise was trying to say, but after looking up at the door and all the way down, she saw a small entrance that opened via a push on the flap covering it. "You mean they went... into the house?" Tank nodded. Rainbow peeked through the flap and saw the Wonder Pugs snorting and barking as they chased each other around in the shop part of the house. They barely missed putting their dirty feet on the nearby dress racks and design tables. The rug was riddled with tiny paw prints covered in dirt. "This is perfect!" she ranted. "Just perfect! Now we're gonna have to wait outside while 4 puppies are inside and turning Rarity's shop into a mess! When she gets back, she'll kill me!" She then noticed Tank trying to go through the small door. It was his size on the vertical angle, but it was not enough on the horizontal thanks to his shell. "Nice try, Tank," soothed Rainbow, yanking the tortoise back outside and onto the porch. "I know we have to get the puppies out, but we can't fit in through that door. It's only big enough to let in a Her voice trailed off to a moment of realization before she could finish that word. "Cat!" The puppies had entered the boutique through a cat's door. There was only one cat that Rarity kept as a pet, and that cat was... Oh no! Rainbow's eyes shrank once more. Her teeth clenched. Her whole body stood paralyzed, except for her lips as they spoke out those 4 words. "What have I done?" Inside the boutique, the innocent, playful little Wonder Pugs were feeling a bit thirsty after running around so much. As energetic as they were, their small legs had rendered them exhausted, and they had been running around for hours. But before they could drop down to a heap, they spotted a stroke of luck that made them regain their energy. Ahead of them, in the kitchen, was a silver dish of milk. It looked delicious. How could they resist such a delicacy? They rushed over to the dish, Fleetfoot beating the rest to it. As she and Soren drank, Spitfire yawned loudly, and Rapidfire gave a scratch to his itchy face before joining their siblings. While the puppies slurped down the rich milk, they were unaware of the white puffy cat watching from the entrance of the kitchen. Her name was Opalescence, Opal for short. She had been resting on Rarity's bed since lunchtime and was feeling parched herself. She headed downstairs to the kitchen to drink from her fancy cat bowl, only to find that the rug had been covered in what looked like dirt-made footprints. At first, all 4 sets of tracks were separate, as if whoever made them went running around. Then, they were all grouped together and all led to the kitchen. When Opal followed the trail, she didn't expect to see what horrors this discovery could unleash. There, her favorite bowl was being occupied by 4 little pug puppies. Opal stood frozen, the purple bow on her head pointed upwards, straight as a pin. Her left eye made a twitching movement. Her tail stopped moving. What were those puppies doing here? In this house? In this kitchen? Drinking her bowl? How dare they contaminate their germs into her property? Surprise turned to anger as Opal showed her teeth, bared her claws, and made a quiet growl as to not alert the puppies of her presence. Silently, she crawled onto the tiled kitchen floor, working her way towards the enemy. Moments later, she was centimeters away from the puppies, her shadow looming over them and the bowl altogether. The puppies stopped drinking after noticing the shadow that darkened the milk. They slowly turned their heads in curiosity to see what was making that shadow, and were mesmerized. But not for long. Opal growled, raised her right claw, and went for a rapid swipe. Unfortunately, the puppies scattered away, causing her to hit and flip the dish in her direction. Milk washed all over her. Cursing herself for being too slow, the cat raced after the fleeing puppies, ignoring the wet milk on her fur. This was no time for a bath. This was time for payback.
Come on, Tank!
Urged Rainbow, grunting between breaths while pushing her tortoise into the cat door.
We just gotta get in there somehow.
So far, this method of saving the puppies wasn't working, and she knew it. If only she had the key to the house.
Excuse me, Rainbow Dash.
Rainbow stopped the pushing process and looked to find Rarity holding shopping bags on her back, and her little sister Sweetie Belle standing right behind her off the front porch. Both unicorns had the expression of confusion.
Why are you trying to put Tank through Opal's door?
Continued Rarity.
Don't you know that turtles?
Began Sweetie Belle before correcting herself.
I mean, tortoises can't fit in holes like that?
Relieved, but still desperate, Rainbow rushed over to her friend and said,
Rarity, I need your key, and quick! This is a matter of life and death!
Calm down, darling, soothed Rarity, using her horn to pull out the key from her left bag. I never thought you'd be anxious for a new dress.
That's not what I mean!
Pressed Rainbow.
We gotta get in there before...
It's all right, Rainbow Dash. This will only take a second. What's your rush? Before Rarity could unlock the door, she received her answer. There was puppy yapping and angry cat meowing going on in the house, in sync with the breaking of glass and pottery, the thuds of fallen furniture, and the tearing of fabric. That was the answer she needed. Rarity turned to Rainbow and shrieked, You let puppies into my house?!
No time to explain.
Rainbow swiped the key from Rarity's magical grasp and placed it into the keyhole, unlocking the door.
Let's go!
The 3 ponies and Tank, the latter of which had been pulled out of the cat door, raced inside to find the room in a terrible mess. Tiny paw prints lay on the rug, the kitchen floor, and the stairs, some mixed with bigger and soaked ones. A few dresses were ripped with claw marks big enough to fit those of a cat. Shattered pieces of a vase appeared next to the fallen table it had resided on, left with a few strands of white hair. Rarity froze solid. Her right eye twitched, and her mouth gaped. What on earth? She remarked, too stunned to even her head in Rainbow's direction. It was Rainbow who broke Rarity's trance as she looked around the room in haste and rushed her words, saying,
Sorry about this, Rarity. But we gotta find the puppies or else Catzilla gets her claws on them. What?
Gasped a worried-looking Sweetie Belle.
Oh no!
And she and Tank joined in on the search.
Here, puppies!
She called out, whistling out to wherever the little rascals might be.
Catzilla?
Asked Rarity. It took her a second later to realize what Rainbow was implying. She lowered her eyebrows to express a mixture of indignation and outrage. Are you accusing my little Opal-Wopal of attacking a pair of puppies? Rainbow gave a quick glance to her friend and replied, yes. Then she resumed her search. Rarity, to her credit, didn't retort to this sort of response. Just then, they all heard more of the puppies barking from upstairs, followed by the unmistakable sound of Opal's threatening mewing. Rainbow felt a terrifying sense of apprehension in her heart.
Oh no!
She cried, before galloping toward the stairs.
We better hurry before it's too late!